Well, there we are, friends. Good morning. And it's day 254, apparently. How am I feeling? I'm feeling all right. Can feel that I've had a go-around with a virus, so to speak, but not in a bad way anymore. Just my body telling me to take it easy. So I guess that's what we're going to do. We're going to be taking it easy. Good morning, friends, and thanks for dropping by on my stream this morning. It's day 254, and here we are after a 3-day break. Yesterday, you saw me struggle with my new toy, my timer, and some fog of the brain, so to speak, after having been ill. But here we are this morning again, and good to go. How do I feel? I feel better, although I can tell that I'm not 100% up and running again. Still a bit foggy, still a bit groggy, still a bit tired. So I'm not going to be doing anything heavy or intense with a kettlebell today. I'm just going to go through the mobility routine, which is about 20 minutes, and a little bit of core, light core exercises to top that off. And then we're going to be done for this Saturday. And I'm going to try and do all of that in 30 minutes. So it is 5:18 a.m. And we're about to get started. I train for living an adventurous, self-sufficient and active life. I'm 40 years old. I intend to be 100 at one point and still be active and engaged and able to take care of myself. So that's what I do all of this for. And if my last holiday, where I hiked 12 kilometers every day, some of those days or some of those hikes with 15 or 18 kilos strapped to my back, is any indication, we're on the right track. I feel fit, I feel healthy, I feel strong, I feel mobile, and some of the mobility issues that I have developed over the year, we're working on with a physiotherapist. So that is this shoulder, and apparently there's also a slight issue with my left hip. So we're going to work on fixing that with the mobility of my left hip over time, but we'll get there because everything is a work in progress after all. The other thing I always say is that we're good just the way we are. This is not about how I look, this is about how I feel, and we've got to love ourselves before we can move on, because the only way to really get anywhere is with who we are today, and who we are today is just fine and a good enough person for the world we're in, believe me. And if we're a bit better tomorrow by whatever standard you want to hold yourself to, that's great, but even tomorrow we're going to be good enough just the way we are. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So it is 5:19. I'm going to start the timers, and we are going to get started. And we're going to start with some walkouts. Well, that's a nice beep on the timer. We have the interval timer running there as well. That way my watch and my log can keep up with more exactly with the work that I've done. Breathing, just breathing in and expanding the stomach, pushing the diaphragm down. and the neck. Now, because my nose is still blocked from all of the virus that attacked me this week, nasty virus, breathing might be a bit hard, but we'll get there eventually. The W and this one, for some reason, I still feel in my left shoulder. So there's definitely something going on there. Just good to be mindful of and to keep in mind as we work out and train. We're going to pick those apples or pears from the tree. You know, life is interesting that way, right? You standing on top of a mountain literally one day of the week, and the next week you're back at home in your kitchen, working out in front of a wall. The work for life doesn't really change. Just the place where you're going to work from changes significantly. And that's all right. It's interesting, actually. If you think about many things in life, basically come down to doing a little bit every day. Not too much, not too little, but reaching extreme results like being a professional athlete or having incredible amounts of money in your savings or having super fantastic relationships with the people in your life might require you to do some extraordinary things for short periods of time. But to just be generally fit, generally financially happy, connected to the people and the communities around you, doing a little bit every day goes a long way. And I think sometimes what happens is that we forget, because doing a little bit every day doesn't give big payoffs. There are no Olympic medals for showing up every day and doing a workout. There are no Ferraris for being financially responsible every day of the year. There are no community awards, generally, for saying hi to your neighbor and being a good neighbor and having a conversation with them. There's none of that, really. So that's worth keeping in mind, that the payoff that you want should be something inside of you, that you're doing this for yourself, because this is something you find important for whatever reason. It gives you a sense of satisfaction, of purpose, of meaning, of fulfillment. And that's probably the case with many things in life. Let's just try to keep that in mind as we go through the motions of the day and the week. Small investments every day go a long way. And those are conversations as much as they are other things that you do. So we look at all of the areas of life. And first of all, my health. And we can break it down in my physical health. How well am I sleeping? How well am I eating? How well am I moving? So I slept enough hours today, 7.5. I've been eating incredibly well for an extended period of time now. I've been investing in my movement now already more than 1.5 years. It's going well. Well, 1 year and 4 months specifically, actually. So coming up on 1.5 years. About my, emotional health, am I mindful of where I am with my stress and with my feelings? I think it's healthy to feel a variety of emotions. throughout the day. I think that's normal for anyone and everyone. I think the more important question is, are we balanced in not having too many dark and intrusive thoughts? Are we able to reflect and frame life also by talking with people and getting their opinion and point of view on things, so we can see the world for what it really is, a nice place and a good place, and not a dangerous and terrible place, generally speaking. And that we can see our part in it also clearly and brightly, and that there are people in our lives that care about us and that would like to see us do well for our own sakes. These are all important ideas. Overall, just have a balanced range of emotions throughout the week, throughout the day, not living in constant rage or constant fear or constant stress, but having a bit of stress sometimes because something becomes urgent or something unexpected happens isn't necessarily a bad thing. I wouldn't worry about that too much. I'm going to do this one. Which shows just how much work I have to do on my left hip. But we'll get there. Slowly crawling forward on that one. Definitely need to work on that a bit more. Okay, I'm going to do one intermediate exercise for my shoulders with the resistant band. This is not one I think needs to be part of everyone's mobility routine, but this is for me because the work we're doing on my shoulder mobility. So, anyway, if you're watching and you're interested in mobility, fitness, kettlebells, being fit specifically in your 40s, getting fit in your 30s, have some experience with that, and trying to maintain that level of fitness over time, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and we can have that conversation. And here's another one I'm supposed to be doing to help the mobility of my left shoulder and to try to get that joint into a more favorable position when we, just general day-to-day. Just taking it nice and easy this morning, and actually already feels really good, which is always nice when you are working out and you just start to feel good about the work and the effort you're putting in. One of the things I miss about being in the mountains is the walks every day. I'm not sure if I would do that year-round. I'm also not sure if it would be possible to do that year-round. But just the idea of being in the mountains and walking for 3 to 4 hours every day is really quite appealing. Let's work on the ankle mobility and also the wrist mobility. Let's see, 20 minutes have passed and we're nicely moving towards the end of the workout. Like I said yesterday, it is my intention to start doing all of the work in 30 minutes or less, 20 minutes if possible, to bring back more time of the day into what we're the other, I should put it, 95% of my life. Johnny, is that you? I'm going to check that message in a moment if that's all right. But I think that is you. Good morning, friend. How are you doing this morning? How's life in Canada? I hope you're doing all right. And I hope life is treating you well. And that you're having a good start of the business, weekend, start of the weekend. I guess it is Friday night, isn't it? Hey, Johnny. Yes, mobility indeed. That is what we're working on today, and it's good to see you. I hope you've been doing all right, and I hope life is good for you where you are at the moment. As you can see, I'm doing better. I'm sorry about missing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But yeah, I just got sick, and I also didn't go into work. I don't feel, and if I can work out, then I can work on the boss's time. If I can't work or go into work, then I also can't be working out. Fair's fair. So, but here we are again, feeling fine. Went into work yesterday. And then you notice that you have a lot to catch up on, which is no bueno. But anyway, that's a different story. So here we're doing mobility, full routine, probably take about 20, 25 minutes. But I hope you're good doing your thing. Yeah. The reason I'm doing mobility, by the way, today is because I want to take it easy, and tomorrow, hopefully, you'll feel so much better. I will be able to do a more intense workout, probably EMOMs and some intense HIIT towards the end of it. Another message, I'll read it in a moment. Great to hear I'm feeling better. Thank you, Johnny. I'm also quite pleased that I am indeed feeling better. The only static stretch of the routine. All right. That was mobility. I'm going to move on with some core work. Basic McGill's Big Three. Nothing fancy. Tripod. And some suitcase deadlifts. Primary objective of this is to just work on that core stability. Breathing behind the shield. And building that strength to keep my body upright and move with a kettlebell through different exercises. Nothing fancy required. Simple works. Always need to watch out for that one. By the way, this one is not supposed to be a relaxed hanging out. Just squeeze your glutes, squeeze your fist, hold that core. It's a brace that we're holding in this position. Got 1 minute left. And the suitcase deadlift. This is 20 kilos. By the way, Johnny, my 24 kilo kettlebells arrived. So we're preparing to move up in weight with some exercises in the next 3 months. And there we are, 30 minutes done. And the fly in the house. I'm going to stop the timer. So we had 30 minutes. So 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Thanks for dropping by and watching, friend. I appreciate you coming in to say hello. Johnny, it's always a pleasure to see you. I hope you're doing well on your fitness journey and doing good in life, wherever you're at. We're at 613 subscribers right now. I'd love to get up to 650 at some point. But more importantly, if I'm on a journey that you're interested in, one of health, fitness, life, joy, having a career, being a father, living life, an adventurous life, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and we can be on this journey and have this conversation together. Hey, thanks, and have a great weekend too, Johnny. And again, I appreciate you drawing in and the support, and the fact that we're on this journey together means a lot to me. It really does. And like I always say, I train for living an adventurous life. So that's something you're interested in, and we have something in common. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done, friend, is by showing up and doing the work. So I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.